loves, and welcome back to my channel. So I really enjoyed doing my week of plant chores thing a couple weeks back, and so I thought I would start to do another one today, and we can just get some plant chores done together because I feel like there's a lot going on that I need to do, and I figured why not bring y'all along with me. So this is probably gonna be another long, chill, chatty, repotty, plant choresy video. Grab yourself some plant chores for yourself, repot some stuff, or a cup of tea and some snacks, and just chill out with me while we get some plant chores done. Before we do though, I just want to say, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma, and I make houseplanty content all over the internet, so if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's get into it, because there's one thing that I just noticed literally today while I was filming a different video, and so freaking annoyed, but I seriously, I need to treat it now because it is a problem. So let's have a look. So I was doing my plant updates video and I noticed that my Mitchelletiana had a lot of webbing on it. I don't know how well you can see, but on a lot of the leaves there is just webbing, and it is not exciting because I am 100% positive that it is spider mites, which is really frustrating, and I don't particularly want to deal with spider mites, and I wasn't planning on dealing with spider mites. Oh, you can even see them moving. But alas, here we are dealing with spider mites today. That is the first thing on the docket because this cannot wait. This is a proper problem infestation that has gone completely missed until now. I feel like this is a good leaf to show you about the signs and symptoms of spider mites. So you can see from a distance, looks pretty normal. There is a little bit of yellowing around the edges there, so that kind of tells me there might be something wrong. And then when you go in closer, there's lots and lots of little speckles, and those speckles are basically where the spider mites are sapping or eating up the nutrients of the plant. And then even closer inspection, you get the webbing in there, and that is a sure sign that there are spider mites, and that is a problem. Get even closer, looking in there, there's even webbing sort of through the sinus of the leaf, and lots of little white dots. Those are all discarded spider mite carcasses, which are pretty freaking gross. So yeah, this is a really good leaf to show what to look for when looking for spider mite problems. But I'd say this is a fairly advanced infested leaf. There's other ones on this plant that definitely have spider mites on them that you can't really tell as much. And unfortunately also it's touching other things like my banana plant, which I think I might have noticed some webbing on that one as well, and some spider mites. So I think I just have to treat this entire area for them just in case. But at least these plants are quite separated from the rest of my collection. I haven't really been taking things on and off of here much, so I don't really think it's a big issue, but that might explain what the heck's been going wrong with my banana plant as well. So let us bring these to the bathroom and I can show you how I'm going to treat them. Throw that one over the side, but I did. Whoops. I think it's fine. And honestly, I don't think spider mites really care about ones like this, so I'm just gonna leave that one. So I need to mix up some more alcohol solution. I have my isopropyl alcohol, 99% here, and a measuring jug. And I do a 1:4 ratio, so if I'm making 500 ml of solution, I'll do 100 ml of isopropyl alcohol and 400 ml of water. And that is my solution. I'll then put that into a spray bottle just so it's easier to apply. Put the lid back on. And we're ready to go. So I'm in my bathroom with my alcohol, water solution, and a sponge. This does take a long time to do, and because of the fumes of the alcohol water, I will be putting on the fan, so I won't be able to like speak during this portion. But essentially what I do, I'll demonstrate on one leaf, is I will spray down the leaf, spray down my sponge, actually the soft side, and then literally wipe down the whole thing. And you can wear gloves for this as well, which I probably would suggest, but I'm feeling lazy. Wipe down the whole thing, make sure you get into all the nooks and crannies, and then you do the same for the back side. So that. And the alcohol should kill all of them on contact, which is what we want. And this process needs to be repeated like once a week for the foreseeable, until you're like not seeing any more on them for weeks and weeks and weeks, because you need to like, this breaks the life cycle, but then you need to keep breaking it. So I'm gonna do this, and I'll probably order some more predatory mites for these. So let's go montage style and bang these out, because this is not fun, but something we have to do. So I'm just gonna leave these to dry off a little bit in here, and once they're dry, I'll put them back on the desk, because it is still like an isolated zone for them. I probably should though dust the entire desk, because spider mites can't just like live in the dust. So I might just go clean that desk off really quick. I probably should have done a slightly more thorough job, but I really didn't fancy doing this morning, so my motivation is like not very high for it. Not how I fancied starting my day today. I thought I was gonna like wake up, do my updates video, and then like do some more plant chores and stuff, like do these moss balls. But now I'm feeling like all tired from doing this stupid spider mite stuff. But I have set up now again to do some moss pulls. I'm actually really loving working on the floor lately. It just feels like I have more table space because I've got all of the floor around me, so I've got like slightly more room. So I wanted to extend some moss pulls on my Monstera Standelliana as well as my Cebu Blue. As you can see, they are up close at the top there now, not past it. And it is time to give them a bit of an extension, as well as I think I want to do my dubia, one of them. So I've got some supplies, moss, and spare poles. I still need to decide whether or not I want to go a full size more, like this whole much more on them, or go half. I'm really tempted to do half, just so they're not like too tall, because otherwise they get really, really tall. So I might do some cutting of these. But yeah, I think let's zoom in a little bit. There we go, that's fine. Take that out for now. And I'm actually going to stand this up for a little bit longer while I sort my moss poles. So these are the lovely poles from Grow Vertical. These aren't the ones that I make myself, because I do have a bunch of these still. I'll link all of these and basically everything else I use in the entire video down below in the description. And I'm just gonna cut them in half. Yeah, because I feel like that's not too tall. I don't know how well you can see it because it's mesh, but that's also definitely not the middle. Apparently I can't count, so whatever. Yeah, that should be absolutely fine for those. I think I'm gonna put the slightly bigger one on my Cebu Blue because it makes the most sense to do so. And just gonna make it up now. I have so many cable ties, which is good, I guess. But I've been meaning to extend these poles for a while. I've not really done any extensions lately, just because, or I've done a couple on like big things because they needed the support, but on smaller ones like this, I've just not really been thinking about it. And that's okay. They've been fine and it's still growing bigger. Honestly, like, this probably isn't even tall enough. Oh. I don't know. It's actually probably not tall enough because this has quite a long... No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Stop getting in your own head, Emma. It's okay. But yeah, I'm still pretty annoyed about the what are all the small ones? About the spider mites, just because that's like not how I was planning on doing this morning. And like I was hoping for like a really chill day, and that did not add to the chillness of everything, unfortunately. Normally I would go down, I would leave 2 undone, but I think for this time I'm just going to use the 1. You'll see why in a little bit. If you haven't seen me doing like moss pole extensions, I have actually a few different videos on them. I don't think any like full YouTube videos, but I've definitely got a short / reel / TikTok of how I do them. That actually explains it really well and like quite easily. So I would definitely, I'll link that down below as well and in the clickable eye up there. So check that out if you want like an instructional video on this, because this is not going to be an instructional video. ASOS. I'm just going to be chatting with you while I do this. But yeah. And like, so it actually feels kind of like a Monday today. I don't know why. I think it's because Joe normally goes into work on Mondays and he didn't this week. But it's actually a Wednesday. So my brain's thinking like, oh, it's Monday today. I have all week to do my stuff. I don't. I have half a week to do all my stuff before the weekend again. But oh my goodness, I had an actually really great weekend this past weekend doing nothing. It was amazing. Like, I think it's the first weekend I've had in a while where I've just like not had to do anything, and it was genuinely really lovely. Just like to have a bit of a break and not be stressing about like trying to pre-film and stuff, because this entire year I've been spending all of my like free time pre-filming for things, and right now I've kind of stopped pre-filming for the time, just because it's not being, I haven't needed to. There's nothing I need to like pre-film for at the minute, which I freaking love. Because I mean, I love filming, but like when you have so much to do, it can get quite stressful when you're trying to get out like more videos each week than you actually need to. So I've actually been really enjoying kind of getting them up as and when, like filming them a day before or like the day of releasing, which is totally not my normal. It is like very far from my normal. I'm normally the one who's like, I've got my videos for next week already filmed and uploaded and ready to go, and now I'm working on the ones for the week after that. Like, that's just how I normally am, because I've needed to be, purely for like to get everything done, because I'm super busy for some reason this year. And like, I had a little bit of time right at the beginning of me going full-time YouTube, which was over a year ago now. Crazy. I can't believe I've been doing this properly for a year. It's just been the most fabulous time. I'm so happy. So much more happy now. And like, even though there have been times that have been quite busy, it's been like completely manageable, and I've been able to like get through it, and it's not been as stressful. Not that working at my other job was stressful, but I was basically making stress on myself by being essentially working full-time YouTube in addition to full-time at one point job, and then later part-time job. I say job, this is a job, but it's like not a 9 to 5. I am my own boss and all of that, which I freaking love. I don't know if I have we'll see if I've done this right. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But being able to work for myself, having like, I guess I haven't really reflected on it on here, how much better I'm feeling. And I don't know if you can see it in my videos. If you go back to a video I made a year ago, and I don't know if it was just I was like faking it till I made it, because I probably was, or if like, I feel like I can go back and see when I'm not as happy, and I can tell when I'm faking it. And like, not that it was fake, but I was like putting on a happy face because I needed to for quite a long time. And so just like, now that I don't feel like I need to do that, it's just so much nicer. I feel like I can just be myself and not worry about like pretending to be happy and stuff, which I don't think I quite realized how much I was doing when I was doing it. I don't know, that's kind of dark. Don't know why this video went there, but it did. So here we're gonna talk about Emma's mental health issues. But yeah, like I definitely, obviously doing YouTube stuff and plant stuff was my happy place, and so I was definitely happier doing YouTube stuff than going to my other job. But it took a lot of energy out of me because I was essentially doing 2 jobs at the same time, which is way more than I would recommend anybody to do if possible. I know some people have to due to like circumstances and whatever, but if you don't have to, I would definitely recommend not trying to do 2 jobs at once, because you are much more likely gonna get burnt out by doing that. Just gonna remove the top zip tie. So this was actually the first moss pole I made from the Grow Vertical ones. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. And it's finally getting an extension. Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking I might need to put it through more, but I don't think I do. And I'm just gonna be a little bit creative with getting this zip tie to go in through a couple of different holes at once. And not zipping up the plant in that process. Oh, I need to put more moss in the top. I should have done that before I zipped it. Then this one, which is also going to be a tad bit awkward. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, so I accidentally, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, I accidentally put the top one on the outside when I like putting it on the inside, because when I water it, I don't want the water to come out. So I am actually gonna change it, which is kind of annoying, but it will be worth it. I know it will. It's just definitely a more awkward process to get it in. Okay, cool. Let's try this again. See how it's on the inside now? I mean, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it is a little bit sketchy, and I probably should have done things slightly differently, because like you can bend that, which I don't necessarily like. Maybe I can, let me pull out the soldering iron. Let's get fancy. And I can like solder a couple holes in the back of the plastic and zip tie those together. Let me go find my soldering iron, because that's a fun fancy gadget that I have. A soldering iron. Okay, so I need to be very careful because this gets hot quite quickly. But what I'm gonna do, without smushing the plant, is this on? The light's on. Okay, yeah, it's coming on. So I'm just gonna go through both layers there really quickly, slightly wider. And then again here. And then I have the very fun job of trying to figure out how to get a zip tie through those. I'm gonna unplug this though, because it's hot. Put it somewhere safe. Okay, just soil everywhere. So let's see if I can. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get one to go through and then up. Because I can get it to go in, but in and then back up like that. Different story. Okay, give me 1 second. I might need to figure this out a different way. Oh, I was just trying to get this to work, but I think I actually just soldered the plastic together, so it's attached now. It's probably not the strongest thing in the world, but it'll do for now. And I don't need to worry about zip tying it, because that's like far too much effort. So now I'm just going to attach these ones that are going well off the side onto the pole again. Oh, they actually are. Okay, even better. Actually using a twisty tie here to take the long one and attach it slightly lower. And I've done it at a bit of a wonky angle, which is fine, but it'll just give me slightly more time on this pole, because it's not like, there's actually plenty of room, it's just not tons. So hopefully they will like it here. and I'll be able to get some good new growth out of these. There we go. I'm very happy with that, actually. Ta-ding! Now let's do essentially the same thing on my Standeliana. Where did I put? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna go down one again, and I can solder it if I need to again. I don't remember what I was talking about before this, but oh yeah, probably just like being really happy about doing this full time, which is so true. I couldn't be happier in this job. I feel like it's made me a better person, and like I've been more like available within our relationship, like Joe and I's relationship, and just in general, like been better with my friends. And I mean, it's all probably just like mental health. Like I've had the capacity to actually participate within my relationships rather than being a person just sitting on the side doing nothing. So it is much healthier, I think, for my relationships as well, which I do like. Because no one wants to like not be an active participant within their own relationships. Like, that's dumb. Like, you wouldn't get into a relationship if you didn't want to be in one. Given Joe and I were in a relationship far before I had mental health issues, so he has stuck with me through thick and thin, and I massively appreciate it, because I know that I was not easy to deal with for some time there in the middle, like maybe like a year at least. It was less than a fun time, but it is just what happens, and like plants have really helped me through that, I think, because it's provided me some space to like do mental health and like almost act as a meditation, because I can't otherwise meditate. I don't know how. It just like, my brain doesn't go do the quiet thing. I don't know how to do it, so I just don't. Another reason I've like really not been great at meditation, which I don't know if I've touched on it on this channel at all, is that I have aphantasia, which basically means that I don't have a mind's eye. And I discovered this years and years ago, when I was chatting to my family. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool when someone said like, oh, picture yourself on a beach, you could like actually like picture it in your head? And they were like, what do you mean? Like, we definitely can do that. And I'm like, oh, I can't. So I can't like picture things in my mind, which is pretty freaking crazy. And like, I think my mom really struggled with it because I think she's very visual, and she's really good at like words and spelling and stuff. And when I was growing up, I was horrid at spelling. I still am. I'm dyslexic, so like spelling and stuff like that is not easy for me. But she would always be like, oh, like picture it in your head, and if it looks right, it's right. And I'm like, my brain like doesn't actually do that. And I didn't realize that she actually meant to like picture it properly in your head. But I'll put up this little chart here of like what different aphantasia bits mean. And so I think I'm like a 1.5 or a 2 on this scale. I'm like very low. I can like barely see like an outline of something, maybe if you said like, oh, picture an apple or a horse or a star or whatever, whichever one I pick. But Google it, and there's some other ones out there as well. But this actually only a recently discovered phenomenon. Like, people didn't know that this whole thing existed until quite recently, like in the past like 5-10 years. Because when I figured out that I had it, I was like Googling it frantically because I was like very confused. I must have been like 18, so it must have been like a decade ago. But only in the past few years, like maybe 5-10 years, have they figured out what it is and like put a name on it and been able to like identify it and do research upon it, because before, like, there was literally no research. And so I was like, right when I figured it out, I was like kind of going into it blind and didn't really think about it for a while there. But yeah, I'm actually aphantasic. I don't really know the proper terminology, but basically I can't see in my little brain. And I think that's probably why I got into art and photography as a kid, because like it was the only way for me to capture those like moments. And like, it's really weird because I can do a whole like Repotting chat video on this if y'all want and explain it more. I don't know even how I got into this just now, but I did. Like I know what people look like I know what stuff looks like, but it's the pulling that into my mind's eye that I can't do. I don't have the mind's eye, basically, which a lot of people do, and I don't. So that is fun. It's because I can't meditate. That's how I got into this. But yeah, I can't meditate. I can't do those like guided meditations that's like, let's go on a walk through the park, see the flowers, see the trees, and I'm like, it's just black. There's nothing in there. It's literally just black for me. So that's doing stuff with my hands and making and creating is kind of that way that I can clear my mind and focus purely on the sort of task at hand rather than other stuff that's going on in my life, which, I mean, it's positive. I'm glad that I have found plants and that, so I can take the time to meditate and use like doing this sort of thing as my meditation, because I'm mostly just focusing on making sure that the moss poles fit together or that something else is happening. Sorry, just gotta concentrate for a second here. I think I've done that right. I've been really bad about keeping this moss pole moist as well, unfortunately. But I can give it a good hydrate later. Obviously not now because there's spider mites in my bathtub, or spider mite plants, but soon. Maybe a different day this week. I can hydrate a bunch of poles that I've not been hydrating for the past however long. Oh yeah, taller pole. And this one's actually slightly more stable than the other one. I might still solder some holes into it, just in case. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna unplug this again because it's hot and I don't want to like burn my carpet or something stupid. It's like literally smoking. Okay, that's those two. And then I was gonna do my Monster Dubia as well. I don't know, I really actually don't feel like doing that right now. I feel like that was enough moss foliage. And I've got like a lot to clean up. Yeah, I might just, I feel bad about that, but I might just tidy this up and, should I do it? Maybe later in the week. I can always do this later in the week. I don't need to do it now. Yeah, I'm gonna tidy this up and put these back in their spots, and yay. I'm actually really happy with that, and I'm glad that I got those done because I've been meaning to do those for like ages and ages and ages. So glad that we were able to do this together. Let me put them back in their spots. There we go. Looking good. Yay! That looks good, and there's still like space there. I'm not too worried about it. I like it. So I just opened up my mail, and totally unexpected, I opened it to this, which is Grow Gang's new like smart timer plug thing, which is super exciting, and a little note saying like this is our new plug timer, try it out, which I'm super excited about. It's got app control and Wi-Fi and stuff, and you can set timers, and this is perfect for their freaking grow lights. I have not used single socket ones before. Also, this isn't sponsored by them, they just sent me this, and they actually, all of this was sent to me for free, so it's not sponsored, but it was for free. But I do really like their grow lights. So this is what the thing is looking like. It's got a little Grow Gang symbol on that side and the power button there, and it's a normal UK 3-prong. And I was thinking whereabouts I could put my Pianta Grow Gang light, because they sent me this a while ago, and their new clamp, which is gorgeous and amazing. I mean, they know this, I've told them, but I would love to have their lights in black because black more fits with my home, but I mean, it still looks really, really nice. Better than like silvery gooseneck ones that I have. But I was figuring I could set this up. But in most of the places in my home, I already have smart power strips, except for like one spot. So I figured I could do a bit of rearranging, get this set up in my home, in the office, and then also set up a different grow light on this, like the only one that's literally not on a timer. All of my other grow lights are on timers, so I will do that. But first I figured let's put this one up and rearrange a little bit, because I feel like the spot just above my cabinet could use some more light throughout the day. So let's do some shifty. Currently have this like cheapo Amazon gooseneck one here, and it's fine, but it's not terribly bright. And I think I could probably put this one more in the middle of the shelves, so it's just dealing with the top up here, and then put the Pianta clamp where this one was and shine that on these, and have this one go on slightly earlier, because running into stuff. This is a fairly dark corner of the room, as you can tell. So let's see if I can get this up here, okay. I mean, it's not quite ideal because I don't like the cord there, but I think for now it'll probably be okay. I can't really do anything about it, so that's just gonna have to be what it is. And then this one, I was gonna clamp here. Oh, that's like a really sturdy clamp as well, which is good. And give these guys some light in this zone. And I like the light output of the Pianta better than the Amazon Fuse-Mic as well. It's very white light, which I do quite enjoy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that. And I think it works. It's very bright. And I think these plants are gonna actually really like having that bit more light. Same as like having the light on in the cabinet. It makes me look really dark, but I promise it's very light and bright, which is what we like. And that clamp is like really strong as well, which is really, really good. So I think I'm going to set this one up on the timer to go on at the same time as my cabinet. So this whole corner goes up at the same time. And then this one on the top here will stay as it is. And now I can plug this in to see if I like it with my other lights. So this light up here is actually also a Pianta bulb in like an IKEA lamp. And it just goes on to this whole little section, which again is quite a dark corner without it. So now let me read the instructions to see if I can get the like self-timery thing to work. Power's on, power's off. Oh my goodness, okay, that's brilliant. And now I can add like a timer and stuff to it as I need to. That is brilliant. Cleo thinks so too. Okay, fantastic. I am really excited to see how this works in my home. So thanks Grow Gang for sending that to me and letting me try it out. If any of the rest of you are interested in it, I do actually have a Grow Gang code because I'm an affiliate with them. So if you are interested in trying any of these things out for yourself, you can use my code / link in the description to get a bit of a discount, and I get a little bit as well when you do that. So feel free to shop there if you want. Cool. I'm gonna go probably have some lunch. And then do other planty stuff this afternoon. I think these have sufficiently dried off now. Do have some water spots, I think from the dust, but yeah, I think we can put them back in their normal spots since it is quite a like empty zone otherwise. They are back now in their zone, and I'm probably just going to treat them again in a week, probably not again within this video, and I'm probably not going to do any more plant stuff today actually. So I will see you tomorrow with some more plant chores. Bye! It is the next day. Good stuff. I am in my room because I seriously need to water in here. I have not watered the plants in here in quite a while, I think about a week, but I've just got my watering can here. I'll probably need to fill it up a couple times, but it has some fertilizer in it as well, liquid gold leaf as normal. Like, when don't I use liquid gold leaf? But gonna keep fertilizing and hope that things go well. But yeah, it's just something that you need to do in the week in order to get all your stuff done. So let us water together. And then the other thing I need to do that I've been putting off for ages and ages and ages is to clean out my Pon Box. So I figured we may as well do that together, and it's probably best to do it in the kitchen so I can flush the pon as well as just like clean out the box quite easily. So let's go to the kitchen. I got a lot of like little bits off, which is good, and like this really long root, and I actually feel really good about that. Everything looks like otherwise really happy. Some things are just a bit too tall for the box now. Like I think this is a little bit too big for the box at this point. Like I know the lid sits like right there, so I probably won't be able to put that one back in, or probably the Alocasia zebrina, which I don't even think is like very happy in there. I don't think it's getting enough light. It just like looks so tall and leggy. So I might have to think of a different solution for this one. And maybe the Cupria as well. Oh, come on. Because that is quite tall. And this has been in there for ages. This is from my old Cupria that I'm pretty sure I killed. It had like a corm or whatever in it, and I grew it from that. I think 1 or 2 corms in there. So pretty freaking pleased about that. Amazed that I didn't like, that I've been able to save it, essentially from a plant that I had literally years ago. Very proud of that one. But overall, everything else is looking pretty okay. Look at the leaf on my scalprum. Look at that. That is fantastic. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now I need to dump this, which is like hella murky. Look at that water. It's pretty disgusting. It's full of probably rot and dead leaves and stuff, as well as like tons of pon that's fallen out. Okay, just do it, just do it, just do it. It's a good thing I have a strainer in the drain, otherwise all of those rocks would have gone down the drain, and that's really not good for them. So by good for them, I mean good for the drains and the pipes. So that's good. I might just take this out and put it in a bowl for now, so I can like actually use the sink. Without it clogging. And as long as I get all the organic matter out of that, I can reuse that semi-hydro. So it's not like I've lost it by any means. There we go. And now I can give this like a proper scrubbing. I mean, it's a bit big for my sink, but I'm sure I can figure it out. There we go. Oh, that feels so nice and clean. So now I'm actually just gonna fill this up with some fertilizer water that I have here already made for semi-hydro, so 1 ml per liter. And I've just put the full 2 liters in. And now we can put some of this back. I am kind of tempted to trim the roots to root prune here. I'm gonna root prune. I'm just gonna do it. Probably shouldn't do it over the bowl of water that I just made, like all clean, but alas, here we are. It's gonna get dirty eventually. This one, I think I'm gonna end up selling or something at some point, because I'm not sure I want to keep it anymore. This is like perfect for little baby alocasias, honestly. They freaking love it. And then the last 3 I don't actually think fit in, because it's the anthurium and the 2 sort of big alocasias. So I don't think I'm going to be able to put those in, but I can find some more stuff that I can put in here for sure. So give me a sec while I look for some stuff. So I just pulled out my pot of little mini alocasias that are coming in, and honestly I might just put them all in one. It was actually the only thing I could find that I think would want to go in here right now. Everything else is too big or already in a self-watering pot, so there's kind of no point to put anything else in here. So let's move this a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And use some semi-hydro. And it has to be the Soil Ninja stuff for this like particular box. It doesn't have to be, but it should, because the Lechuzapon, unless I'm using old Lechuzapon, already has whatchamacallit in fertilizer. And because I'm fertilizing this box, I don't want to over fertilize. Oh, maybe half of that. So So I'm just gonna quickly place all 3 of these little guys. I mean, I've got no idea what they are. This is mystery alocasia time here, which is quite fun. And if they grow out to be something different, I can change their pot, but honestly, they'll be fine. Even if I did decide to keep them as is. Just rinsed it off a little bit because you can see how much dirt came off actually in the first initial rinse. You're supposed to technically rinse all of it before you put stuff in it, but I'm far too lazy to do that. So now this can go into the box. And I suppose I could just get a different box, like a tall skinny box if I wanted to for these, because I don't need this much space right now. But I mean, I don't have one, and I have this, so there's no point in like changing it up, I don't think. So this can now go back into my room. Back into its spot in the awkward corner of my bedroom. Oh yeah, with the grow light over it that only goes on in the evening. Joy! And then these I'm going to repot into bigger self-watering pots so they can go into my collection. These are the pots I'm going to be putting them, and they normally come with a cotton wick. They normally come with a cotton wick, but I really don't like the cotton wicks. If you've been here for a little while, you will know that. And so I use like cut up microfiber cloth because it's a synthetic material. It doesn't really rot or go moldy, which I prefer. And it doesn't look like amazing or anything, but I mean, I can tolerate it. Just like that. And now I can just go forth putting these in. I just need to pour it. There we go. There's one. Oh my goodness, look at those roots. Look at those. And also, it's got that mesh that I put on the bottom of normal pots. Oh, there's 2 in here. Brilliant. There we go. That's 2. Very easy job. I should need to fill these up with some water and we'll all be good. I'm again gonna use fertilizer water here just to make sure that they are fertilized. And then I'm actually gonna be putting this anthurium into a plastic cup with no drainage. Just because it's a little bit bigger. I don't have any other self-watering pots that I can use at the minute, so it's just gonna have to be that. And I think I'm gonna use the coarse semi-hydro because these roots are freaking chunky. Like, look at those roots. They are so chunky. So we're gonna go no drainage for a little while. I mean, not that it's had drainage ever. Oh, those are phenomenal. And then we can just kind of put that in there. Maybe a little bit less of this. This cup's like actually not that much bigger than the one it was in before, but it's the biggest vessel I have at the minute. And then some water for this one. That might be too much, but it should be fine. I can always pour some out if I'm feeling like it is. There we go. This can just live in my collection as well. Brilliant! Hello again, friends. I basically just didn't do any more plant chores since yesterday afternoon. I've been working on editing and stuff this morning. Not really the fun stuff that I want to be showing you, but the postman just came and I think I have some more plant mail, which is super duper exciting, and I can't wait to see what's inside. So I thought we could open it together. This is actually something that I'm swapping. So one of my patrons and I are swapping, and they sent me this. I haven't had time yet to like figure out what I'm going to send to him yet, but I have some ideas. I just haven't had a chance to like figure it out properly. So I'm just gonna open this up. Some good packaging in here. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. There's 2 peperomias. Ooh, well packed as well. Like, look at that. Like, taped in there and everything. Maybe I'll just send him this box right back. I mean, why mess with a good thing? Come on. So this first one says Peperomia quadrangularis, which I have not heard of before. I'm like notoriously bad at peperomia names. I say notorious, like I'm just not very good at them because I've not been as familiar with them through my like planty time. Okay, yes. Look at that. This is like the pinstripey peperomia that like grows super duper well. We're actually talking about this one in my live chat the other day, so that is super exciting. I'm so excited to hopefully get these to grow because they're so freaking cool. And then there's 2 more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So this one is a Peperomia Hope, which I know what that looks like, and I do have a couple tiny sections of Peperomia Hope, but I'm really looking forward to sort of growing it bigger because mine are very, very small, very, very tiny little things. So these look really nice, like super duper thick and luscious. Like, look how succulent-y those are. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm very excited for those. I think these so far have both been fresh cuts, which is fun. So that's really good. I've just pulled it out of the moss. And then there's one more, and this is one that I have never heard of before. It's a Peperomia maculosa. We'll find out what that is. But I think he said that it grows like huge leaves, which is very exciting because the only like really big leaf peperomia I have is the Sarcophylla. And so why not have another one? This is what it is, like very, very big, like sort of, they're kind of thinner leaves. I don't know if that's just because it's a bit like dehydrated because they've not got roots, but I feel like they kind of look like Sarcophylla new leaves. I mean, they're really cool and like super thick, and they almost feel like rubber or like latex or something. Very, very odd material. I say material, leafness. Oh, that is so exciting. And is that a new leaf as well on the way? In there, is that a new leaf? I can't tell. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to figure out how I want to propagate these, because that is the hardest part for me with peperomia. I've just not been, like, I think I've got a handle on it at this point. I'm just not sure. It's one of those things that could be like very hit or miss. Little glass jars, because I love little glass jars. And I will use some of the moss that's already been taken out. So there. And then put these two in. And add a bit more moss around them. And then a couple of leaves fell off, so I might just plonk them in there as well. And if they root, that's great. If they don't, that's also fine. Go. That's two. And then I was gonna put the third one in here, but I feel like that's a little bit too big. Like, it doesn't need to be that deep. Just gonna use plastic cup for this one, because that's what I've got. Just gonna have to do for now. And I'm actually gonna write out labels for all of these, because otherwise I will forget what they are called. And then I'll remember the hope, because I know what that is already. Looking good. Just gonna find a space to put them. I think, I know I was saying I didn't want to like clutter this up too badly, but just so I can keep an eye on them a little bit more, I'm gonna put them there. and then this one too. Just so I can like keep track of them a little bit more, because I feel like if they go on my other shelves, they're gonna get lost and I'm gonna forget about them. So they'll be here for now. Because I started writing out some of these tags, I think I'm gonna just continue on doing these for a little bit, because writing out the names really does help me remember what they are, so eventually I can memorize them. But there's just ones that I really regularly forget, and it frustrates me because I want to be able to know what all my plants are, and labeling them is like a really good idea. So just going through my collection now and labeling ones that I commonly forget. Now I can go put these into the plants they belong with. Wasn't planning on filming quite yet in the morning. I was gonna get dressed and stuff, but I came and I had a bit of a breakfast on the couch, and Cleo has just come and sat right on top of me, and now I have to commit a crime in order to go about my day because I've got stuff I need to do. This morning I'm actually going to meet up with one of my patrons down a little bit south from London, and we are going to swap some plants, which is super exciting. But yeah, so I need to like pack up all the stuff that I want to bring with me, but I don't want to commit the most heinous crime of all time, moving this little one. I'm gonna have to though, because I've got to pack up my stuff. It's okay, I got this. Cleo, it'll be fine. I need to get ready as well because I am still in my pajamas. Here I'm just packing up what I'm bringing to the swap. I'm bringing some Paleonia pulchra, Paleonia repens, Hoya curtisii, Hoya serpens, Zendapsis silver hero, and some tree fern fiber because we thought we'd swap some substrates as well. On my way out the door now with the goodies, and we're gonna get on a bus and head to a coffee shop to meet up to go have a bit of a drink and chat terrariums. Cool, let's get on this bus. I'm like running a little bit late. I just got home from my little swap, which was so much fun. I had an amazing time speaking to Robin. They had so much information about like terrariums and just like we talked about like normal life stuff as well, which was super fun. But this is what I got back from the swap. So this is some terrarium mesh, which I'm hoping to use in my terrarium. This is fluval, which is something that I've been meaning to try for a while now, and I can do in a future video. but it's just like this little volcanic-y substrate stuff. It's like, it kind of, I don't know, it's an interesting substrate that's like really popular in the aquarium scene, but it's become super duper popular in the States. So I've got some of that to try as well. That's what I traded the fern fiber for. And then she gave me a couple of, oh, what are they called? Selaginellas. 3 different types. They're inside of this little container. And I'm gonna show you them, but I'm not gonna tell you exactly what they are because I will talk about it in a future video when I eventually make my terrarium. But they're like these little, they're kind of like moss, but like not quite. Huh. They're really an interesting thing, and I'm excited to put them hopefully in a future terrarium and grow them nice and happily. But for now, they are just gonna stay in my little container because that's where I can keep them safely, like keeping them happy before I put them into like a proper terrarium setting. So, I mean, I've made a mess now, but that's alright. That was my trade, and I am like super duper excited about all this stuff. Like, I'm so stoked to give Fluval a try and to put some stuff in a terrarium soon. Good morning, friends. I'm gonna be wholly honest here. It has been over a week since I started this video, and I've been busy. Like, this weekend was busy, or this past weekend, and then I was over at Claire's for a few days because we were filming another video for Unplanted.
Am I allowed to look?
Yeah, okay, look.
Okay. Oh my god, that's low.
I tried on some wedding dresses that Claire had picked out for me from ASOS. And it was a lot of fun, and so if you want to go see that video, I will link it once it's up down below in the description. But until then, I'll just link the Unplanted page. But yeah, I've only just got back yesterday from that and realized that I still have more plant chores to do before this video goes up. So I am just setting up here now to do a bit of a repot of some stuff. I can show you what it is as we go. The first one I really want to do is my Hoya clemensiorums, because their root system is like proper good. I literally can't set it down on a table normally because the leaves get in the way. Maybe I'll just pull it out. That's probably the easiest. But yeah, these roots are phenomenal on both of them as well. So I'm super duper excited about that. This water's like kind of gross and algae. But I'm going to be potting it up into a tall aeroid tower pot with anthurium and orchid soil, because that is the stuff that I use for Hoyas, and they seem to really like it. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling out my soil scoop. Yeah, just fall, that's fine. But yeah, I've just got like a couple small things that I wanted to do today. And then, yeah, I feel like I don't know, this video's gonna be long if it's not long already. So why am I doing that if I've got the soil scoop? Yeah, I could potentially add more bark to this mix because Hoyas are, I'm pretty sure they're semi-epiphytic, but also so are orchids and anthuriums. So it's like they should be absolutely fine. They do like quite a lot of air in their soil, and so having big chunks of something like bark is super duper useful for them. Oh my god, look at all those chunks. But I'm really glad that I'm finally getting to pot this up. I was worried for a while that this was a complete goner. Like, they looked rough. I mean, if you haven't seen those videos where they are looking rough, I can insert a picture or whatever, but they were looking bad. And so I'm very, very pleased that they're a bit more green now. They look like they're actually a living plant, which is nice. I can't even put this down. I'm trying to get some more of the soily bits rather than the barky bits in this as well. So it's not like extreme chunk, but like average chunk. Easy to do it with my hands because I can actually feel what I'm picking up. Yeah, I'm really, really chuffed about these, and maybe one day they'll actually like grow, because right now they've just been as is. So that is really exciting. I'm very glad that those have actually done something. And then the other two that I wanted to do in this, or another one, is this, which I'm super duper sad about. This is the Schismatoglottis that I got in that import, and as you can see, it is rough. Like, these leaves have just, like, that's nothing. And I think it's because it's not gotten enough water. But while it's doing that, it is also like, it's got growth points in there. I don't know how well you can see them, but it definitely has growth points in there, and this one has growth on it. So I'm just gonna dump out this soil, because I just don't think this mix was right for it. It need, like, Schismatoglottis, they need a lot of, sorry brain, turning on again. They need a lot of moisture, and so I haven't been giving him enough of moisture. So if I could put it in something like semi-hydro, that could be a better option for them. I mean, it will be a better option for them. But I'm just gonna remove a couple bits there. And I mean, this one is just crazy. It's got so, yeah, they've got growth points. So like, they want to live. They've just kind of lost their entire root system, which is, I guess, not great. Should I reroot it? Yeah, I think I just wasn't hydrating this enough. Ugh, that's annoying. I'm honestly tempted to just put it straight into semi-hydro and see what happens with it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, those are the only two options for this one. So, straight into some semi-hydro. And pray that it does work. Like, oh, it's just such a shame all of these roots just have to come off. And I will get up and rinse these in a second as well, because I don't want any of this like soil or like organic matter just like hanging out in there, because that would not be good. Yeah, just get as much as possible off before going to the sink. That's fine. These can go in there. That's fine. And then this one, which is also, it's like, it's growing. It's just not, it's just lost all of its roots. And I think that's the problem. That's why it's wilted so much and lost all its leaves. Because it just was doing horrible. It's just been fully wilted and terrible for a couple weeks now. And I've only just gotten around to like doing anything about it. Which I know is like a me problem, but sometimes we're busy. Cool. So that's done. And then before I rinse this off, because I'm already sitting here, I have these in here, which are a couple Alocasia Aslanii that we got at, we had in the plant swap, in the goodie bags for the plant swap of the last London swap. And they're just like tissue culture ones from the Eden Lab. He donated a bunch to us, which was like super, super generous. But I have a couple that were left over at the end of the day that I've just been keeping in moss up until now. Okay, that's come off, that's a shame. But they have quite fragile little roots, so I'm gonna be careful taking this sphagnum off. But I figured I could put this one into semi-hydro as well, and put this one actually in my clean pond box, now that it is clean. So that's one, and then there's a second one here. So these like aren't grown from corms, they're almost like little cuttings. It's very strange compared to what I'm used to for Alocasias. Like, it's gonna be really hard to see, but they're not corms, they're just like little tiny rooty things. Very interesting. Yeah, I'll wash those as well. So I'm gonna rinse these off really quick. I'm not gonna move you because I'm a bit lazy, but I'll rinse these off and then we can come back and put them into semi-hydro. These are as clean as I can possibly get them. And I actually just grabbed a new one of this because it was just too much of a pain to wash. So that's fine. Got me semi-hydro here. And I think I'm actually gonna put the Schismatoglottis in the pond box as well, because I don't have a good pot for it otherwise. So I think they can both go into the pot box. It's just a shame that they lost like entirely, like their entire root systems. I mean, it is what it is. And hopefully being in like that super duper like moist, constantly moist, never drying out situation, but also high humidity will be beneficial for them. Because if I've learned something about Schismatoglottis, it's that they are freaking thirsty. So thirsty, like thirstier than almost any other plant. And I think I'm gonna have to take this leaf off because otherwise it'll just sit in the water and rot. So I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. But that's okay. This is like a fresh start for it. I didn't want to take it off lower because it's like kind of, the new leaf in there is using it as a cataphil. So it's a bit of a dangerous maneuver otherwise. So that's the one. And then in the little baby pot, we can put the Aslanii. I've never actually grown anything that was tissue cultured before this, so this is quite exciting. It's a completely different sort of world that I don't quite understand. Have any of you grown stuff from tissue cultures? Like, not necessarily grown the tissue cultures yourself, but gotten TC plants specifically, like kind of right out of the TC stage. TC obviously standing for tissue culture. There we go. We got got those too. That was quick and easy, which I like. And then I will put these in their respective locations now. So this is where I'm actually going to end the video. I feel like I got a lot of chores done over the few days that I've been sharing them with you, and I'm like slowly feeling like my collection is in a better and a better place now that I actually have time to treat stuff and like make sure I'm staying on top of watering and moss poles and stuff like that. I do realize that I didn't do the Monstera Dubia moss pole in this video. It's just, it is what it is. It's not been something that's been like top priority for me here. So, I mean, I'll figure that out in time and hopefully they'll be fine. They'll probably just look a little funky for a minute. But yeah, that's just what's been going on for me plant chore wise in like the past, I guess technically over a week now. I skipped many days in the middle where I just like didn't do any plant care, which is absolutely fine. Like, it's a balance, and there's gonna be some days when you can't do stuff. So that, yeah, that's everything I got done. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If there's anything I mentioned in here that you'd like me to expand on, give me a shout. We can potentially make that happen. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, also don't forget to keep growing. Bye!